Congratulations! You've decided that you want to take that leap and become an independent consultant. But now what do? How do you actually become a consultant? My name is Lachman-Doucet, and as someone that has successfully pivoted my career from employee to consultant, I'd like to share with you 6 simple steps and insights that'll help you understand how you can successfully and quickly launch your career as an independent consultant. Now, before we get going, remember to click that thumbs up icon if you hear something that you like, and click that subscribe button so that you can catch future episodes from Progera. And if you have friends in your network that could benefit from the same insight, please share the video. I also need to let you know that this video is based upon my personal experiences in the labor market of Ottawa, Canada between the years 2007 and 2020. Before you make the transition into consultancy, make sure you consult the legal and business professionals in your market area. Most of what I say will probably be applicable to you, but there may be some subtle nuances specific to your market. The first step to becoming a consultant is to become a subject matter expert. That will require you to invest maybe between 5 and 10 years worth of your career learning your particular craft. Whether you choose to specialize as a project manager or as a business analyst or someone in data science, the particular specialty doesn't matter, but you do need to be a subject matter expert. Get some certifications, get some proof that you actually have that knowledge and that capability. The second thing that you need to do is to prepare your marketing material. Now, your marketing material is going to be somewhat relative to the market that you are targeting. Are you approaching a federal government, a provincial or state government, a municipal government, or are you targeting the private sector? Depending upon which market you're addressing, you will require slightly different information as part of your marketing toolkit. The next thing you need to do is prepare your CV, your curriculum vitae. This is a lot more than a resume, and this was the hardest part for me to prepare when I made my transition. When you're coached to prepare a resume, you're taught to make it very brief and concise in 2 to 3 pages. Well, your CV is a lot more than that. Now, we're talking everything that you've done since you graduated with your undergraduate degree, not just what you've done as a consultant. So your CV could end up being 5 pages, 10, 15, 20, 30 pages. In addition to preparing your CV, you need a detailed list of references, at least one reference for every single position that you have had during the course of your career. Provide phone numbers and email address, contact information, and of course, make sure you contact those references to make sure that they're willing to speak on your behalf. In addition, make sure that you've prepared a business card. Yes, I know, are people really using business cards? Well, yeah, when the first time you meet somebody and you say, hey, put me on LinkedIn, well, hand over your business card. It's going to have your name, your email address, a phone number, easy contact information. Don't spend a lot of money getting them printed professionally. Just go to your local Staples store and buy a set of business card templates and put them through your printer. Generate 10 at a time. In addition to that, prepare your elevator pitch. Your elevator pitch is that something that's 30 to 60 seconds long. It talks about who you are, what value you provide to the market, what skill set you have, what market you're targeting. It should be very quick. Finally, but definitely not least, is your LinkedIn profile. It is essential that you have a LinkedIn profile that speaks about your character, that speaks about all that you can provide. Have an appropriate business picture, have an appropriate profile description, and have every single project summarized in your LinkedIn profile. This is what is going to invite people to look at you for a further interview. The third thing you need to do is figure out your strategy. Are you going to be working with an agency, or are you going to be doing the independent business development on your own? It's easier to be working with an agency because the agencies have already done all the legwork to develop the contacts and to know where the opportunities are, and they will help you get the contract. Now, working with an agency, there's 2 ways you can do that. So you're going to find some that have 1 contracts, 1 opportunities, and they're just looking for someone to fill that existing role. So the term is already defined, the rates are already defined. All you really need to do is attend an interview and then sign on the dotted line. The contract is yours. The other way of working with the agency is for a contract that is something future. It's a potential. It's very competitive because it's you and a bunch of other consultants and a bunch of other agencies all bidding for that same single opportunity. It's much more competitive, so your chances of winning that contract are a little bit slim. After you've decided your strategy, now you begin networking. As a consultant, you're always networking. The first thing you need to do is take your CV and send it to the agencies, and then take the time to meet with the recruiters, attend those job fairs, do what you can to get your name out there. Other thing you can do is approach your own personal network, your professional friends, to say, hey, I'm looking. If you know of any contracts, let me know. Your network is a very, very valuable tool. Finally, get your security clearance. Depending upon which market you're targeting, depending upon where you've lived in the past, you need to get your security clearance up to 3 months, maybe even 6 months of awarding your first contract. So get their security clearance process started as soon as possible. Security clearances are market dependent. So if you're targeting private sector firms, if you're working in a city that is primarily private sector organizations, you may or may not need a security clearance. Check with the local agencies in your area to figure out what is required. Now, the fifth thing that you need to do is prepare your records. You need to decide, are you going to be a sole proprietor or are you going to be incorporated? The best way to ensure that it is a non-employee relationship is to make sure it's company to company. And that is the reason why I recommend that you spend the extra money to become incorporated. When you become a company, then of course you're going to have to find your operating name. Do you want to just have a numbered company or do you want to have a consulting name? It's really up to you. And either way, you can always change your operating name after you have registered your company. At this point in time, it's also a good idea to begin your financial recordings. You want to make sure that you record all your receipts for coffee and supplies. If you buy any hardware and software to support the launch of your company, keep track of all of those receipts because you may need them when it comes time to report your corporate taxes at the end of the fiscal year. Now, a little bit of Progera perspective. Do you need a website? At this point in time, while you're picking a company name, you may want to do a quick little URL search to see if that particular company name is available. If it is, take the time to invest to register the URL as your own. Protect it. Because if the company name you choose does not have an available URL, maybe you want to change your company name so that you can have a URL. Don't invest the time right now to actually develop your website unless you happen to be HTML savvy and can you develop your website on your own. But at least get the URL reserved for you. And then you're going to get that call, you're going to get that email. You've won your first contract. Yay! But what do you do now? This is where the last step comes into play. Step number 6, it's time to formalize that legal structure. After you get the call from the agency, now is the time when you formalize your incorporation. Now is the time when you open up that corporate bank account. Then you sign on the dotted line to say, yes, you're a company, and yes, you've got this contract, and you can begin your financial recording. Now another little bit of Progera perspective. The question is whether or not you should specialize. Many consultants feel there's value in picking one particular specialty and doing that same specialty, that same skill for year after year after year, developing a deeper understanding of that specialty. I, on the other hand, like to mix it up a little bit. I do a contract as a business analyst, I do a contract as a project manager, I do a contract as a business architect. It helps give me a breadth of perspective and a breadth of capabilities. I don't like to limit myself. So there you have it, 6 simple steps to pivot your career from employee to consultant. It's been my pleasure to share this insight with you today. I hope I've given you a little bit of understanding of how you can pivot your career both smoothly, quickly, and effectively. Thank you for taking the time to watch the video today. Please remember, click that thumbs up icon and subscribe so you can catch future content from Progera. And share the video with your friends. They need to hear this message too. My name is Stephanie Lachman-Doucet, and this is Progera, Practical Perspectives in IT Project Management and Business Analysis. Until we meet next time, take care.